Welcome to ComicCast, issue number 198, brought to you by Dwayne's World Comics and Games, 457 East Sullivan Street in Kingsport, Tennessee. They carry comic books, graphic novels, statues, toys, and gaming merchandise, including miniature games, board games, and RPGs. Dwayne's World Comics and Games, Kingsport, Tennessee. My name is Boogie Bentley.
And I'm Adam Wade Adams.
Wait, what are you clapping for yourself?
Come on, you can't do it.
Jeez.
I'm Jason.
This is Gaumer. I don't have a visual effect this week.
What is happening? We are at ComicCast Pod on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Wherever you get social with your media, you're listening to this on YouTube via the S&B Network. Go ahead and smash the like button, share out the link. Let's grow the live chat. We got a special guest. Rylend, I just want to. Everybody knows who you are. We don't have to do some big fancy intro, but I love that
What's your favorite Rocky movie?
You're an Eisner Award winner, but I just advertised you as 2019 ComicCast Guest of the Year, Mr. Rylend Grant. Welcome back.
It's going to go on my tombstone, I think. And you know, it didn't.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Are
you guys are big enough without?
Yeah. Look. Ringo sent me like a big, plaque sort of thing. So I'm waiting on my Guest of the Year plaque. I'm gonna hang it.
Actually,
now you backed Boogie into a wall. He's got to spend some money.
No, the worst part is I think I just gave him an Eisner like a couple of seconds ago.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I gave him an Eisner instead of a Ringo, but whatever.
Wait till the next book. The next book.
Sign me up for one of those. Yeah. But it didn't occur to me until now that people might think that the intro is still on. Like I think in your intro, I'm wearing a red T-shirt. It's a different red T-shirt, and I'm just going like this. So if I just go like this, people are gonna. So they can just go. Yeah. But so I appreciated Adam's whatever you call that the machine. I loaded up a surprise. I loaded up a surprise for you guys too. So the movie TV stuff has been going well for a while, and that's been rolling. Now I have the comic money rolling in. So, sitting pretty now, getting a little comfortable. So I have made some sort of augmentations to my household. And so I have the newest one right here. I think you guys will and can appreciate this.
Oh, it's an unveiling. It's an unveiling.
So it's an unveiling. So this is the...
That's the robot!
This is the newest
Dude, are you banging that robot?
This is the newest member of the family. We don't talk about stuff like that now, and it's that wouldn't be something that you would just dive into anyway. It's you got to kind of wade into those waters. But yeah, this is not nearly as fancy as the robot that Paulie bought for Rocky, but this is actually the robot that robot was based on. This is the Omnibot 2000 from the 80s.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's pretty awesome. So you can program him to do all sorts of things. He has a tray. He can literally go to your refrigerator, pull beers out and bring them back for you. He has a tape deck.
I was gonna ask, is it like Teddy Ruxpin?
Well, from the 80s have a tape deck in them?
Well, you see what happens is you program them to do these things, and so the programs get saved as sounds on cassette tapes. I think there's a Leonard Skinner tape in there right now, but he can also just play music. But so
we know what you're doing with him. Sweet Home Alabama coming out of a robot.
Yeah, exactly.
Set the mood. Set the mood.
Yes. So this is the new addition to the family. So
that's awesome. He's a new merch guy.
No, you need to take the sound, the voice, the female voice that Paulie changes it to, and load that tape up.
I bet that's a better robot.
It's
really
not
as
idea.
high maintenance as Paulie's robot. Paulie's robot was too high maintenance. That's a robot that you can take to Golden Corral and they're fine with it.
Golden Corral. Yeah, awesome. I think so. Well, I mean, Golden Corral would certainly charge you to bring in a robot like this. You have to pay full freight. Robots don't eat free at Golden Corral, particularly during these trying times. But yeah, so
I think you got to bring that dude to the conventions like from now on.
Yes.
Why? Because only the four of us know what he's talking about.
He's the new merch guy.
Everyone
playing
needs
in
to
comics
know.
all day.
Let me run down the live chat real quick. We got a few people hanging out. Comic Book Bob is here doing work as he always does. Rylend's got a Kickstarter coming out tomorrow, and you guys got to check that out. But Bob's dropping the link where you can sign up for the notifications for that. Some dude named Softy is here, aka Venomized Ryan. He's here hanging out as
Ryan.
As always. Drew Manchu is here as well in the chat. Guys, anybody in the chat that's a member of the channel, there is a Banjax emoji you can play with tonight. If you're not a member, for 99 cents a month, you can become one and play with those custom emojis. But there's a way we start the show, and Rylend knows what that way is because he is kind of the godfather of this. Right, Gaumer, do you have a problem?
We already asked Rylend.
Did we?
Think it's changed?
Did we?
I think we did.
Well, I'm trying to run a show here. If you would let me.
I'm sorry. I'm just making faces. I can't make faces.
We're not here to ask Rylend his
square. I can't just talk in my make faces in my square.
We're not here to talk Rylend's favorite Rocky movie.
I feel like Gaumer needs a hug. I feel like
I need a freaking hug too.
It's a train wreck because all they do is complain. But we're here. This was the perfect time when Rylend said he wants to come on May 31st. We're going to unveil the results. We've been tracking the results for what's your favorite Rocky movie for months now. For months.
You should do show notes. These surprises are going to drive me crazy.
Yeah, it's a surprise, bro. Well, when I send you guys information, you ignore it, so it's a surprise.
It's true.
Well, let's start at the bottom. Rocky 2, Rocky 5, Rocky Balboa, and Creed 2 got 0 votes.
Wow.
Okay.
It's expected.
Next to that, who did we have on last week?
Philip.
Yeah, Philip Seavey. Philip Seavey, the only person to vote for Creed, number 1. He said it was the only.
It's the only one he had seen.
Only one he had seen.
It's the only one he had seen.
Yeah, that's suspect.
All right, so we're down to the top 3. The top 3.
Rylend's gonna be like at a con. Who are you, Philip? Wait a minute.
Coming in third, Rocky 3 with 2 votes. Coming in second, even though this is
come on.
It's like cheating in the Olympics. Rocky 4 with 3 votes.
Yeah.
And the winner, because we have a bunch of snobs for guests, Rocky 1 with 7 votes.
It's the right answer.
Yeah, that's
7.
It's the only one most people have seen.
It blew away. What was Rocky 4? How many votes?
3.
3.
And how many votes did Rocky 1 have?
7.
Okay, if it was a little bit closer, Boogie, I'd give you a little bit of wiggle room there, but it literally landslide for Rocky 1. So
No, but it's the same conversation we have all the time. There's
You're wrong in
there's
those
the
two.
holier than thou answer of
man.
Rocky 1.
Well,
it's great filmmaking.
Oh my! In a movie, I mean, that's kind of what you look for.
Well,
Whenever
no,
makes
It's great, but it's just great because it's great.
better
comic
about your
book
answer,
game.
Boogie.
No,
ahead,
but
Ryan.
here's the thing. If you remember how I answered the question, is like, because really it's 2 different questions. What is the best Rocky movie, and then what is your favorite Rocky movie, right? Because you can get all snobby with the filmmaking. I mean, I went to the American Film Institute Conservatory. That was where I went to grad school, and it's like full of snobby, filmic, assholes. And they'd be like Rocky 4. But I feel like we all have like that side of us. So like, I will accept the argument that by an AFI standard, Rocky is the best movie, but it's not the funnest movie to watch. It's not my favorite movie by far. I mean, I was I actually think that 3 is the best movie in terms of all the conflict and the character stuff. 4 is by far my favorite. It's those are 2 very different things because I mean when I went to AFI and I got spit out, I mean I had my kind of snobby years where I was watching Tarkovsky movies and stuff like that, but man, like that shit gets old, and man, it gets it's really hard to you're on a Friday night, you're home on a Friday night, you don't want to like pop in a Tarkovsky movie and just kind of like lose yourself. So my taste has gotten more and more kind of commercial and fun as I've aged, and so now if I have the choice between watching this year's Oscar Fair or watching Passenger 57 for the 15th time, or watching Con Air for the 217th time, then or fucking Armageddon or whatever. Sign me up every time. Yeah, The Rock is incredible.
What is your favorite movie in that sort of genre? That throwaway, it's a shit movie, AFI, but wow, what a great movie!
Rylend's been here for 10 minutes and hasn't cussed, and you're just dropping
Oh, did I?
demonetization
Oh, I'm sorry.
right out of the gate.
Sorry,
Thanks.
bud.
Nah, yeah, I promised that I was going to set an F-bomb record, so I'm a little disturbed by that. But I've said shit several times, but you can say shit on TV now. So yeah, fuck that. Well, you know what? I mean, it is hard for me to pick one. And then there are movies that kind of blur the line. I'm on a huge Tony Scott kick right now for whatever reason. But it's like his movies are popcorny, but he also has all the talent of like a Martin Scorsese. So, Crimson Tide is incredible. I was just watching Deja Vu again, which is like surprisingly great. Like I don't remember it being that great, but it's a lot of fun. Beverly Hills Cop 2 was a great film from him. Top Gun. Enemy of the State. Did I say Enemy of the State? I might be repeating myself, but I am an unapologetic Armageddon fan. I love Armageddon so much. I think it is at once the most absurd and the most amazing film that's ever been made.
Is that the one with the Aerosmith theme song?
Yes.
Yeah, that was
a great movie. That's a great movie.
I mean, there's a
You know what?
Criterion-
You just
Criterion
have the
deluxe version of
balls.
that.
You have the balls to admit what movies are good, and other people don't. They're scared. It's like saying that NSYNC is good. They're scared to admit it.
My favorite
It's all in
I would
opinion.
never say it's the best movie ever.
When I went into it's like when I went to Full Sail, I think at the time everyone was talking about this movie called Amelie, some kind of
Yeah. French
yeah,
film.
I was sitting there like I like Last Action Hero.
Last Action Hero is amazing. Yeah.
And then when I came out of there, I was like, I like Last Action Hero still. We had to write a script to make a movie for the final project, and mine was a comedy. I was like, but I think what ended up getting made was some like a depressing movie. But it's like I'm all about the like. Recently, I discovered this.
Oh hell yeah! Yeah,
nice.
that's a great one.
Wow.
And it's like I can't believe how like crazy good this is.
What's the one with the TV control? Stay tuned. Stay tuned is another great one.
Stay tuned. I saw that on Prime. I've got it locked and loaded to
That one's
watch.
awesome. I need you to weigh in on which one do you think is better, Alien or Aliens, and also Terminator 1 versus Terminator 2.
That's a question for me, huh?
All eyes on you.
Well, we've whined to each other about it too much.
So we've got
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's again, it becomes a complex question. I mean, I think if you pretend like there's one that it's a black and white question, you get into trouble. Terminator 1. I mean, it kind of revolutionized film, revolutionized the genre in a way. But you look back at it, and it doesn't hold up, right? Terminator 2 kind of perfected an entire genre, like an entire period of filmmaking. It's like, this is what a big kick-ass popcorn action movie can be and should be. And so yeah, I mean, you can make a strong case for both, right? If I'm at home on a Friday night, I'm going to watch Terminator 2 every day.
I think Terminator 1 doesn't stand up the way you're saying is because it's been copied so damn much.
Sure, that's
Rylend.
always
I love having Rylend on, man. Well, come on.
Why? All you do is talk bad about him when he's not here. I don't
I
understand.
never said a bad word.
I wish I had the clips ready to play right now.
back to Rocky.
No,
I think it's like what you said. Like my favorite Rocky movie is Rocky 1. But if I'm about to go to the gym, you better believe I'm putting in Rocky 4.
Yeah, that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Well, the soundtrack and the training montages. I think the training montages are top notch.
All you got to do is go to YouTube and put in Rocky 4 training montage, and it's like
What's
10
YouTube?
minutes of epicness.
I play that training montage about once a day. I wake up to it. Gets me out of bed, gets me going, gets me hyped.
Sure,
That's
alarm
a
It's
clock.
on fire.
That's how I go to bed. Is like I'll do a line and listen to that and like get my eyes open.
Yeah.
Well, 3 a.m. Yeah.
Fluffs his pillow and says "ding ding."
Yeah, the alarm. Dang, dang.
Is that your alarm? You want to ring the bell?
We're in the bell.
Dude, let's talk about Jump. We got to talk about your comic coming up. That's
Yes.
all reason we're here, man. Your Kickstarter. Can you tell us anything about the premise of The Jump?
Yeah, so The Jump is, I'm going to crawl up my notes here because I'm probably going to mess something up otherwise. Give me a second. Yeah, so The Jump is a, yeah, you got it right there. Give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to get a document up here.
While he's getting loaded up, guys, the Kickstarter launches tomorrow. There is a link in the description where you can be subscribed and waiting to know when that goes live. So as soon as it goes live, you'll get an email, and then you can jump in and back this. But we're going to talk about it and promote it tonight. So make sure you click that link and subscribe for updates.
Yeah, sorry, guys. My computer is not cooperating right now.
How about this? While you're doing that, I'll share the video you've got, and you can get your notes together. Let me make sure I share audio, go back and grab it, and here we go. Let's watch the video.
Hey Kickstarter, my name is Rylend Grant. I have for about 15 years worked as a screenwriter in Hollywood. I've developed film and television projects for folks like J.J. Abrams, Ridley Scott, Luc Besson, John Woo, Justin Lin. I swerved into the comic book lane a few years back. My first book was a love letter to 70s paranoid spy thrillers called Aberrant. Action Lab Danger Zone published it in 2018. It won a Ringo Award for Best Villain and was nominated for 2 others, including Best Single Issue and Best Writer. The book was quickly optioned for television by 24 and Felicity executive producer Tony Krantz, and so that one is very much off and running. My last book was a dark superhero noir titled Banjax, and you might know that one. It was on over a dozen critics' 10 best lists last year. But those projects are over and done with. I am here today to talk to you about what's new and what's exciting, my latest and greatest, and that is The Jump. The Jump is a kick-you-in-the-face paranoid thriller set in the world of astral projection, and you're going to love it. After a series of crippling personal tragedies, our protagonist Thomas retreats from his everyday life and finds comfort in an online community dedicated to the art of astral projection. When he demonstrates a unique aptitude for the practice, Thomas becomes the target of a mysterious corporate political machine known as Ajax, bent on using promising young practitioners to win a centuries-old war on the astral plane. The Jump is a smart, grounded, high-concept sci-fi thriller full of meaty twists and turns. It is essentially Inception meets The Bourne Identity if it were dripping with macabre and directed by David Fincher. Now tell me that doesn't sound cool. The art is done. The book is completely ready to go. We just need the funds now to print it up and get it to you. Any additional cash will be put towards art for issues 2, 3, 4, and beyond. This is going to be an ongoing series. You're going to love it for years to come, I promise you. Now we have some great rewards for potential backers down below. 3 amazing variant covers, original art, the chance to actually appear in the book, the chance to come on to the film and TV property as a producer, and there is tons of creative stuff for all you process junkies. So yeah, take a look below, pick a tier you like, and then please come make the jump with us.
I got so many questions.
Wow, so yeah, that's going to wrap it up for ComicCast issue 198. Why is Rylend here? We don't even need you here. We can just play that.
I know.
Good video. I like that. That was really good stuff.
That's amazing, dude.
Yeah,
the art is
it's actually
incredible.
it's good that I kind of tripped over myself there because I probably would have said a lot of the same shit, and then you would have played the video and looked like an idiot. So yeah, good that the video was there. Yeah, but the art is great. Your loyal viewers may recognize it because The Jump is done by the same exact art team that did Banjax. So,
that's my first question.
Yep.
How did that come about, and how is that working with guys who basically know how each other work because of an already successful project?
Yeah, well, so I should just shout them out. I mean, artist Fabio Alves, colorist Edson Ferreira, and then letterer HDE, who is kind of my go-to letterer on everything. But yeah, so that was it was an easy choice because I mean it is so goddamn hard to kind of get into a rhythm with an artist.
Yeah.
What a lot of people don't see is, I think I have 5 other books in the pipe right now, maybe 6. But there are also 4 or 5 other books that have just kind of died on the vine because I started with a new artist, and you're trying to get into a rhythm with them. You're trying to sort of find trust with them, and it just kind of doesn't happen, right? And so you end up having to restart or scrap the whole project altogether. Ooh, I'm getting an Amber Alert right now. Not an Amber Alert. We get another curfew tonight on this thing. Sorry. And so once I get a hold of an artist that that I know will be there for me and will deliver for me, particularly like the guys delivered on Banjax, that I'm never going to let them go if I can help it. So I always try to get the next thing in the pipe. The guy that drew most of Aberrant, David Diaz, he's another kind of just sort of badass machine of an artist. I think he's drawing our 3rd book together now. So I like to keep everybody together. And HDE has basically lettered everything I've ever done, which it's probably 30 issues of comics right now. But yeah, so I absolutely wanted to do something after Banjax with Fabio and Edson. We still have 4 more issues of Banjax, and we'll get to those at some point. But we were kind of looking for something new. This one is unique in that almost everything I've done comic-wise started with me, and this one, to a degree, started with Fabio. So when you have a good artist like him, you can go to him and say, "Hey, draw this," and you'll get good results. But where he or she is really going to shine is when you go to that person and you say, "Hey, what do you want to draw? In your wildest dreams, what do you want to be drawing?"
Nice.
And he was like, "Stay Puff Marshmallow Man."
Yeah, we should totally flash those. We should flash those variant covers because they're pretty awesome.
Yeah, I can go down to that. Hold on, let me get down here.
There's a Kickstarter tier on here that says that you can be on the cover. I'm like, yeah, that's gonna be the one.
Yeah,
that's so good.
Yeah, so I guess quick detour here. Yeah, so of course we are known for our variant covers. Just period. On Banjax, we did we did the Rocky IV variant,
Gremlins.
The Gremlins variant, and I owe those to some people here, and I'm very well aware of that. They are not in your hands right now because American Airlines destroyed about $1,200 worth of my stock coming back from Baltimore Comic Con, and so I don't have any of them right now, and so. I was in the process of getting them from Action Lab. They still had a store of them, but Diamond has been holding Action Lab stock hostage for months, and so I'm working it out. You guys are all getting care packages, so I apologize for that. So we have 3 pretty good ones here. The first one, of course, was a Ghostbusters Stay Puft Marshmallow Man cover. This one here, I hope you guys can see it, is an homage to Ice Cube's "Today Was a Good Day" video.
Nice.
That's my favorite.
And so it has our character kind of in the Ice Cube position, like sitting on the hood of that beautiful Impala. There's a fat burger in the background. There's a good day blimp. Excuse me, I don't want to get sued. That says "Sway's a pimp." You got.
See, now the main character of your story has Ice Cube's voice now.
It's a solid thing. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I can show that one. I don't want to get kicked off.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Maybe.
If you're going to do a Kickstarter, you need a sexy variant. They sell, like, I can guarantee you we're going to sell 10 times as many of those as we are.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
Because that's how Kickstarter works. But so yeah, we have come strong with the variant covers. If you are, and the cool thing about these covers here is that so eventually the Jump will see a traditional publishing release, and we can talk more about that later. But we're doing the Kickstarter thing first, and so every single one of these covers on Kickstarter is going to be Kickstarter exclusive. So you'll never see them again. This is the only place to get them. So when this thing, when this thing goes to a publisher and comes out and it's a hit and people are collecting, you're going to have kind of the scarcest of the of the stuff here. So if that's the sort of collector you are, then come on and get it. But yeah, so back to the Fabio story. So I asked Fabio what he wanted to draw, and he comes with the idea that became the Jump. And so the cool wrinkle to that is that, so as I said in the video, the Jump is it's kind of a thriller that takes place in this world of astral projection. There is an actual real life community of astral projectors that actually mostly congregate here on YouTube, if that's where you're watching this. And it's massive. People are doing this all over the world. And Fabio is an avid astral projector. He is a practitioner. And so it took me a long time to kind of start to wrap my mind around what that meant. It's not something I do. I mean, obviously, like, I've done Zen for 20 years. So I have some sense of the corners they're pushing into. But yeah, really interesting world. So Fabio kind of took me by the hand and introduced me to a lot of these people, these guys that are kind of these masters, these gurus in this world. And I studied very closely how they communicate and how they kind of like find each other and all of that stuff. And so it started with that. And so what I will say is that Fabio is not part of a group that's fighting a war on the astral plane. That was, I get, my day job is writing action movies for, in Hollywood. And so I brought kind of the big kind of thriller fastball, and sort of projected that onto this world. And so, yeah, this was, so it started out with Fabio's idea. I just wanted to do something in this world. And then I had to go and find kind of like the kick-ass action story. So
nice.
That was how it came to life.
Yeah. Whenever I think of astral projecting, I always think of remote viewing and Ben Kingsley's character in Suspect Zero, where he's.
I always think of Art Bell, man.
Okay.
Art Bell.
Yeah. Nice. Cool, man. Cool topic. That's abnormal. That's something different. I think that's there's definitely a community for it, but it's super interesting, and I've never seen it before in comics, so that's really cool.
Yeah, I kind of like sorry, Ron.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say I like the earlier, like the beginning, the opening of the preview. It's like anytime you're having negative thoughts, it's because some jerk jumper is beside you, like feeding those thoughts to you. So now if I ever have a negative thought, I'm going to try to pick a fight.
Who's next to me?
Just start throwing at the air. Yeah, and so you're kind of alluding to this. So if you we should just get this out of the way, and then and then we'll hit it again. So the Jump is going to be on Kickstarter. It goes live tomorrow, and you will be able to kind of see this page that Boogie's scrolling through right now. And there is I believe it's a 10-page preview, so you get like a good meaty preview of this thing before you go. Mm-hmm. Kind of sets up the world, sets up our character. His brooding malaise, as it were, and it actually kind of teaches you how to astral project in a weird way. It might be like the MacGyver version, where like we leave a key element out, so like you can't blow yourself up. But it's there,
See, I was wondering about that because I've read, you've talked about your background, and we've if someone wants, you can look up Rylend Grant on Wikipedia. And it has his entire life on there, just about. But I was wondering when I was reading that, I was like, how much of this is based on stuff you've actually like studied or read about that you've included in this book?
Well,
sorry, I need to stop as you took a drink. Sorry.
No, that was cool. I mean, I'm that's my fault. It's a nervous tick almost. So I'm it's more Fabio's direct experience. The astral projecting. I've never astral projected. It's not something I've done. When I don't have when I'm not locked inside a house with a 3-year-old during a pandemic, maybe I'll give it a whirl or whatever. But I have what you're alluding to is as I said before, I've kind of studied I studied Zen for 20 years. About 10 years ago, I was ordained as a Soto Zen Buddhist Monk, which just basically means that I teach Zen now. Teach meditation essentially. So, I've meditated for a very long time. This book kind of deals with, it has some kind of, metaphysical elements and stuff like that. And some people try to project that onto Zen and and whatnot. But at least the Zen I practice is kind of very far from that. So I practice Soto Zen, which is kind of a Japanese sect, and it has a lot more to do with a lot more in common with physics than any religion I've ever experienced. It's really just kind of about looking at the world the way it is, rather than kind of projecting a bunch of nonsense onto it, like we tend to do, superstition and all that stuff. So in that respect, I'm kind of divorced from a lot of that stuff. However, after 20 years of doing this stuff, like anybody, like I have, you go up to Mount Baldy, go up to the Mount Baldy Zen Center and do a 10-day retreat where you are just meditating for 12 hours a day, staring at a wall, not saying a word, not communicating with anyone, and see where your mind goes. See the sort of things that you experience, right? We have all in our own ways kind of experienced certain things that we kind of can't explain or can't put a name on or put a finger on, that sort of thing. And so I guess what Zen does for us is that we don't try to explain it, because we're never going to be able to. We don't say it's this, we don't put a name to it. So I guess in that respect, I think that this astral projection world, I think they're putting on a finger on the same thing that I've kind of experienced during a long retreat or something like that there is something else out there, bigger, badder. Some people want to call it God. Some people want to call it the universe. Some people want to call it fucking ghosts. Some people want to call it, whatever. What did that Halebach comment call it? Comet cult? I don't know. That was a long-winded, meandering answer, but
sounds cool. Like somebody's doing DMT with Joe Rogan. That's what I took away from all that.
Nice.
I want to talk about like looking at some of the
right.
Some of the tiers that you offer on Kickstarter, and Jason kind of mentioned it earlier, talking about draw your face on it, and I think you're smart to do it digitally, so the artist can do the work, but you can still get it and print it out and have that copy, but you can have your face drawn on all of those variant covers that we showed earlier, right? That's the deal.
Yeah, well, I mean that's there are a lot of there are a lot of tiers like that. And it's the beauty of Kickstarter. I mean, Kickstarter is a whole other animal than So you go the traditional publishing route, and you put a book out. It goes into a shop, and you rarely get to interact with the people who are buying it, right? I mean, I see people at cons, and that's great. I come on a show like this, and the chat lights up. I get some questions, stuff like that. That's cool, but there's not the direct interaction. I mean, the beauty of Kickstarter is that there's this rabid community, this rabid fan base. And, the moment this goes live tomorrow, you guys will be able to message me about it, ask me questions about it. You are kind of, and this thing doesn't come to life. It doesn't get printed unless you guys decide it's worthy. You throw a couple of dollars at it. And so, it's kind of this magical place, and so I didn't want to do the minimum. I didn't want to just throw a book up there, have it printed, and throw it at you guys. I wanted to find a way. I wanted to use the medium as well as I could. So if you look at those later tiers, they are all about sort of trying to involve people in the process, to include people in the book. So yeah, it's what you're talking about. So there are tiers where you can have your face put on one of our variant covers. You want to be the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, we'll throw your face right up on there. Fabio will draw you in. But also you can, we're offering roles in the book. So you can be a background character actually in the interior pages. You can be a supporting character. There is in those first couple of pages that you showed, there's a guy who's trying to stop this woman from blowing her head off, and he's shouting at her. He has lines. He's he's kind of this big pivotal character right off the bat. That could be you. We will draw you into the book. You will be an actor in this movie. Thought that was a cool way to kind of include people also.
Sure.
Is that one of the driving reasons you chose to go to Kickstarters, because you can have that crowd involvement, or?
Yeah, I mean it's two-pronged. I mean it's been a hole in my game for so long. I have so many friends who have kind of like just found love and found like fulfillment and found community on Kickstarter. I mean, it's two separate communities, really. I mean, it's almost like there's this huge group of people that buy their books in comic shops, and we will eventually kind of serve that, that crew. And I've served that crew for a long time, obviously. But then there's this other whole community on Kickstarter that kind of doesn't know my name, and of course there's crossover and whatnot. But there's a rabid fan base, and so yeah. I mean, I watched you guys had Charlie Stickney on, right?
Yeah.
White Ash. Yeah. And I mean, that was how Charlie built White Ash. I mean, Charlie started out with Kickstarter just like this. He's done 6, I think, and built White Ash via Kickstarter, and then took it over to Scout Comics, put it in comic shops. And Charlie has like 1,500 people on Kickstarter who, no matter what he does, they're in immediately. And so I was missing out on that for a long time. And so yeah, but then also it's like, cons are so fun. I've been sitting at home for now 75 plus days.
Yep.
All the cons have been canceled. So that's part of it, is like, I miss that interaction. I miss talking with people who are passionate about comics and, who are passionate, who are going to give you immediate feedback. Oh, this is awesome. Oh, this sucks. Oh, you should have done this instead.
Sure.
So there's that. But then also, I mean, we talked about this a little bit in the lead up to the show, is that, and you guys have talked about it, these past couple of weeks, but it's like the comic industry is just, I mean, it's on fire right now. Everything is in flux. That's probably the polite and easy way to say it. And I don't know what things are going to look like in a year, in 2 years, even in 6 months, right? The distribution model is changing radically. I told you that I have, I'm always getting shit from Gaumer about not doing enough books. And my comeback is always that, hey, I have 5-6 books in the pipe, and I had 2 books that were on the 2-yard line ready to be announced before this shit hit, and now I don't know what's happening with them. They're not done necessarily, but I don't know if they're coming back. I mean, everybody's so backed up now.
And you're unable to do anything else with those books at this point. They're already, you know what I mean? Because you could do that with, you could do another Kickstarter if those are done. If you were still able to take those books and whatever publisher you shopped at.
Yeah, I mean, they will find life at some point. It's just that the pause button has been hit. I mean, the publishers were already paring down their slates. People are every EIC is on was on Twitter before bragging that we reduced our slate by 40% and look at the results. Like we're and it's like, well, we're kind of getting killed by all that, but
sure.
But they have to stay in business. They have to keep the shops in business. I understand all that. That's my way of saying, well, now us creators, we have to find new outlets and we have to find new ways to go. So I mean, here's what we're looking at basically, is that I might have had a book out late this year. That's not the case. I mean, once things are kind of back up and running fully and they start to reschedule things, like if exactly. I mean, best case scenario is like late next year.
Yeah.
But we're probably talking about pushing into 2023. And if Gaumer was already bitching at me about not putting out enough books like 3 months after Banjax wrapped up, what is he going to be saying at the end of 2022 when I haven't had anything out?
And it's a tough call. I mean, because Boogie and I were talking, and I was griping. I was like, well, this is when the comic book industry needs creators the most to push things into the traditional method. Go to a publisher, get it out in the shop, sell it directly.
Is Gaumer going to be honest right now? I love this.
I am being honest. Yeah,
I love it. Do it. Go.
You're a businessman. There's the creator
Oh, he's getting
side.
soft. He's getting soft.
I'm not going
He's
soft
getting
because
soft.
Rylend.
Yeah.
I allowed Rylend to explain himself, and with new information, my opinion changed.
Oh yeah, now you're getting weak. I get it. Cool.
Weak.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me explain to you. Let me explain to you Gomer's problem. Jeff Lemire went to crowdfunding. And I backed the book immediately because he's the GOAT.
And Matt Kent, too. It's a great combo.
Yeah, and so I sent the link to everybody. Jason's all
book.
excited, and Gomer's like, no, I'm not backing this garbage because he needs to be putting books into shops. So You know, you
Because
kind
he
of
will
talked about.
sell from a business standpoint.
I'm saying
it's
the
not
industry's
the same thing.
changing. It's the
A
industry's
publisher
changing.
is
Oh,
going
but we gotta be
push
careful.
a Jeff Lemire book.
Don't make me send the link to Yule and get him in here to talk about Fantastic Comics.
Yeah.
But what do we do? What's the answer? Because Rylend, you're talking about the business is burning. Everything's on fire. You as a creator, you have to take care of you and your family. So if that means going to Kickstarter, then that's the answer for you.
You have a retail tier though as well. You know what I mean? So the retailers can buy this tier and have the books and in their store. You know what I mean? So
they will, and I think guys like there's a specific kind of creator who is guys like Charlie Stickney, who have kind of given us the roadmap for this, right? Charlie, Charlie has kickstarted 5 issues of White Ash. Ran that very successfully, and then he went to Scout Comics, and Scout Comics put it out in shops, and he's had another really successful run. And so, so a year ago, that was not accepted, and it was not possible. There was kind of this stigma to publishing on Kickstarter. You were never going to be considered, but now Image is publishing Kickstarted books. It's falling away, and so I think the short and sweet answer to this question is that, like, again, it's not a black and white thing. It's not either or. It's like the future is going to be a hybrid. And let me say, I mean, it's I don't want to be mischaracterized here. I mean, support your publishers, support your comic shops first and foremost. That's the first thing I'm always don't go on Comixology and download it. Go to your local comic shop and order it. And so it is a world where both are necessary for us, for everyone, particularly now. And so this is kind of the perfect time for me to test it out. You don't make a ton of money off of your indie books, right? I mean, Gaumer, you were kind of getting close to this, and Boogie also. So what Kickstarter has done is it puts a little more change in your pocket. Nobody's getting rich off of this stuff. Believe me. The artists on the jump deferred their fees. You know what I'm saying? They drew this book for free, and so that is part of what we're doing this Kickstarter for. We're gonna we pay the artists afterwards. And they were kind enough to do that. They trusted me enough after Banjax to do that. That was a huge ask of them. And so my hope mostly is that really the problem for me, it's not about making money, because I'm never going to get rich off this. I mean, if I make any money, I made money on Aberrant finally when it was optioned as a TV show, and then they paid me to write the TV pilot. And I'm in this kind of for the love of the game, right? But the biggest thing for me is actually getting the books made. It costs at minimum like $15,000 to $20,000 in artist fees to get a 4-issue arc done, to get a trade done. And I mean, I have a mortgage. I have a 3-year-old daughter, who's going to school, and I can't pull that money out of my ass. So I have had to, in the past, kind of treat these like little films I was making and go and get investors, and then the investor gets a piece of the book, and I have to answer to them, and it has at times been very unpleasant.
That's why the camera's going to pop up, because your legs are broken, right?
Right.
Yeah.
There's just twigs.
Yeah, and so what Kickstarter allows me to do is just get the budget for these books. You know what I'm saying? If I can, my only goal with this is, it would be nice if because Fabio now, wildly talented artist, and someday he'll be drawing for Marvel. But in the meantime, he has a couple of kids. He just had a new one. He's freaking out. He is working a very difficult day job, and then he is drawing at night. And it is a struggle, and it is devastating. And so my greatest dream would be that Fabio doesn't have to do that anymore. And so if I could go to Kickstarter with every issue and just get the budget back, be able to pay Fabio to draw full time, like, that's awesome.
I think this is going to be extremely successful. I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out. I think this is going to be a really simple new thing to do for you, and less stressful in a lot of different ways. I really think this is going to be backed by a lot of people. I think this is going to be a hot book, and I'm going to be really extra happy for you.
And in the overall discussion of that, you're still giving the power to the consumer.
Yeah.
You know, and that's really in terms of where I'm coming from, because that's what I am. You know,
we can even
have
bring
the option.
comic shops into it, because
Yeah.
you know, you kind of mentioned it with Charlie Stickney, and that's what he does, right? He runs the crowdfunding, and then he still goes to Scout Comics. And I had Clint Stoker on for the Boogie Show. It's been months ago, but he crowdfunded through Indiegogo, and then he's gone to Alterna Comics, and Peter Samedi is going to publish his book that route. And maybe that's something I told him this, and I still believe this. I think it's two different fan bases. And sure, you've got your Rylend Grant fans that are going to follow you, whether you're publishing through Aftershock, Image Comics, wherever you go, they're going to follow you because they are fans of your work. But if you can find a way to crowdfund and still get into comic shops.
And you mentioned the retail tier.
Throw out real quick that there's also a retailer tier.
Yeah. So
live.
When does that innovation need to happen, Adam? You know what I mean? How do we communicate to shops that no, there is more than Diamond, there is more than Midtown, there are more places that you can get your comics for your shop? Does Kickstarter make that easy? And how can you make that easier for these shops? I mean,
I think comic shops, I think the owner of the shop would have to be willing to look on. It would be nice if Kickstarter maybe sent out had some kind of email saying these Kickstarters have a retailer incentive option. That would be cool. But now with DC, that DC is, you know, they were trying a different distributor. I think shops are, that's kind of easing shops in, saying Diamond's not the only distributor.
And what we're talking about is getting rid of the middleman. And I think everyone involved would be for that, except the middleman. But I think everyone would be for that. You know what I mean?
Jim Rugg from Cartoonist Kayfabe, he's running a really successful Kickstarter campaign right now for his book Octobriana. It's the world's first blacklight comic book ever, and he doesn't even have a comic book tier, but I forget why. He explains it in some interviews, but he's more than welcome to have stores contact him, and he'll totally take care of the stores. And his books are going to be in stores for sure.
But as a retailer, as the small retailer, you don't have the time to say, okay, let me go to Kickstarter. Look, true, but I don't know. There's a piece missing here that I think if it was filled, it would be a great thing for the overall health of the comic book industry, even if it changes, from moving away from publishers a little bit. I think everyone.
I think if you're like a smart retailer, you're going to want to do a lot of different avenues. You're going to want to, know what's hot, what's happening. You're going to have your finger on the pulse. And so you see a Rylend Grant book, he's an award winner, dude. You're going to want to have his book in your shop. Like you're going to want to contact him or do this tier.
Sure.
Simple as that. You know what I mean?
Maybe
you're going to get lost in the dots, and you apply close for a reason. So
Rylend.
Outright Geekery could do a little blog thing saying these are the current Kickstarters.
Yeah, Gaumer, what are you doing?
It's my
all day?
fault. You're right.
What are you doing all day?
I know. Damn it.
God damn it.
I know. I'm sorry, guys. I'll fix the comic book industry. I'm getting to it.
You got a guy for that.
Yeah, I got a guy for that.
Yeah,
the guy's not even in the live chat, but he's got a guy for that.
Drew brought it up earlier in the chat, but he said what I've been preaching is, please make some T-shirts, make some merch, some stickers, patches, what have you. I know that takes money too, but that could be another tier as well. You know what I mean?
Or it could be stretch tiers. Stretch tiers.
Yeah, dude. I know you're gonna reach the accomplishment, and once that happens, there's stretch tiers that you can play around with. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we'll start to build it out. I mean, as much as I like the swag, it becomes there's like a diminishing return on the swag. You got to pay for the T-shirts, and then you know what I'm saying. So it's I mean, I've thought about it. I had I had some good teachers on this. I mean, David Avalone, is another great one who has he and Kevin Eastman they kickstarted Drawing Blood, and then took that into comic shops. Also, they've done this whole thing too. And so it's like, a lot of people kind of caution me against that stuff. As much as I love it, as much as I would love, to see people walking around in a Jump T-shirt or whatever. We'll see. I mean, I'm still learning. I'm starting out kind of small, starting out slow with this thing, and then trying to kind of build an audience there and build a community there. And I would like to, I'd like to do 4 of these a year.
Yeah.
You kind of can't do one until you kind of fulfill. You can't do the next one until you fulfill the first one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's a huge no. Huge no.
Yeah, I recently got a Dave Chisholm cannabis T-shirt, and he also had available like mugs and pillows and all kinds of goodies. It's outsourced, it's third party, where you don't have to do anything. Yeah, the company gets most of the money that makes that stuff, but you still get a chunk of the change, and you get free promotion pretty much for having your stuff out there to whoever wants to spend that extra money to buy it. So it's not much out of pocket because you can just externalize all that, and you don't have to package anything yourself. You don't have to do anything, just in a photo file, and that's it. So
I back so many Indiegogos and Kickstarters. I back so many comic projects. I'm a T-shirt guy. You can add a T-shirt, and I would say make it a Gomer's like, I've got this old school Ring of Honor T-shirt. I love T-shirts, but I would say if you add
that book sucks. He sees a T-shirt here. Oh wait,
I'm in. If it's a cool T-shirt, I'm in. No. What I'm saying is make it an add-on or another. Make people pay for the T-shirt. But it's like when people put prints and bookmarks and pins and I don't want that crap. And you as a creator are wasting your money because I would say 95% of people put that stuff right in the trash.
It goes in the garbage,
they want the comic book, maybe a T-shirt, original artwork, and that's it. That's it.
Yeah.
No, you bag and board your comic. You just flip it over and put the stuff in the back of it.
Yeah, and it sits there. Yeah, that's what I do. Yeah, it just sits there.
It's mint and package.
Yeah. And I don't mean to be mean to people that have sent that stuff, but that's just the way I am.
No, I didn't do any of that stuff. I hear you.
Yeah, I like stuff that interacts with me and Gomer. We like cartography. If you give us like a printout of a map of the city that this story takes place in, that's cool stuff.
There's a map in your comic. I'm probably gonna love it. I don't know why. It seems to be a rule I have.
I do want to say that T-shirts are underrated. Like I want to say I have a stupid meme page. I'm not going to say what it is, but the first month.
Why not promote it, bro?
One of the first months it was popular when it was blowing up at the time. I put up a T-shirt tier to outsource to a third-party company. I don't have to make the shirts or anything, or even ship them or whatever. It's all outsourced, and the company makes 60% of the money. You know what I mean, or more? Who knows? Yeah. I made $2,000 in 1 month. You know what I mean? Off a meme page, and I just sent a little.
You can buy the official ComicCast T-shirt if you wanna. The link is in the description. Go buy the official ComicCast T-shirt.
I meant to wear mine today, but it's a little bit weird to wear the shirt of the band that you're going to see. So
my wife is like, I don't understand you. We go to a concert and she's like, why are you wear? And I'll wear a similar T-shirt to the genre that I'm going to see. If I'm going to see a certain band, I wear a similar band, but never that band. And if I'm going to a wrestling show, never wear a wrestling shirt to a wrestling show. And she's like, yeah, but when you do the podcast, you always wear a T-shirt that matches the podcast. You usually wear comic book shirts on ComicCast and wrestling shirts on the Wrestling Council.
It's like a superhero. You got to wear certain clothes for certain things.
He's got a wrestling shirt. I've got an Ethan K shirt on.
Look, this might as well be the Wrestling Council. Oh. No, speaking of Rylend Grant, I got a bone to pick to you. What is this? Uh-oh. What is this wrestling flyer teaser that you're putting out there?
Oh yeah.
I need breaking news, bro, because I have a successful wrestling show that I'm gonna promote the crap out of this to. What is this? What can you tell us?
I think I can talk a little bit about it. So one of the books I have in the pipe is it is a small town sheriff's department story, kind of a single case in an arc sort of thing. It'll be a 6-issue arc that one big kind of murder robbery case, that sort of thing. And it takes a look at the cops and the police work and how kind of their work affects their lives and their lives affect their work and all that stuff. The criminals in the first arc, they are bank robbers that also they do these kind of small town wrestling shows. They so it starts out, you meet them and they're wrestling in a high school gymnasium, one of those sort of bush league sort of outfits. So this was funny. I mean, this was just a little playbill that was in it's in the background of the shot. But these guys here, Jason Mikowski, Steve Pryor, DJ Martin, Joe Oliver. They were my really good friends from high school, and so I put that out there, just kind of tagged them in it, just because little. I was going to put, and then of course you have your Battle of the Davids, David Schrader, David Pepos. Nice. Just a little shout outs to my friends, but yeah. So there's that element. I mean, it's kind of they're investigating these crimes, and they, to a certain degree, have to kind of go into this world of kind of these bush league wrestling events that people do in high school gymnasiums and stuff like that.
Yeah,
so,
and you're not far off either. Like people in the pro wrestling industry. That do that. I would say more of the old school people, but they're carnies, they're workers, they're shysters, and I would say robbing a bank or pretending to slip and fall on the McDonald's and they cut their head just so they can isn't far off. So I mean, this sounds great.
Adam's telling real stories. That's not fake,
right?
Yeah. There's very good indie wrestling out there. I don't want to, I don't want to, piss on that. This is not that. These guys are definitely these are dirtbags.
You're talking armories, high schools. I mean, it says it on the poster. The fairgrounds. Yeah.
So where's this book? Where's this book going to be? Where are we going to be able to buy this? What's the deal?
Well, God, I wish I could tell you.
You can. You can.
Well, no, I'm saying I don't know at this point. I thought that I knew
on instant kill.
I thought that I knew about. I thought that I knew about 3 months ago, but things are so uncertain right now that I don't know. We'll see. It's gonna find a home. It's a great book, and we'll see.
Nice.
Everything's in flux right now, so yeah. Just kind of.
Regardless, we're behind you. We're going to be promoting the jump on Kickstarter. Guys, the link is in the description. It will be live tomorrow, the second that Rylend's alarm clock goes off and he clicks the button. We will let you guys know. I can guarantee you got 4 backers right here. Yeah. We're going to back it. Yeah. We're going to be behind it.
Let me let me give the little spiel here, because so it should go live probably go live at about 8:30 Pacific time, so that's 11:30 Eastern. So my spiel is this: if you are going to back it, please back it on the first day. Mm-hmm. So the first 24 hours of the Kickstarter campaign are kind of life and death. Based on your performance during the first 24 hours, it dictates how Kickstarter will then promote you internally. So if you have plenty of backers, in that first 24 hours, they will put you in front of everybody. Your campaign will be a success. All of that noise. If you fall on your face in those first 24 hours, then nobody's going to see it, and you will die a very slow and very agonizing death. So as well as you can, log in tomorrow, and even if you only have $1 to throw at this thing, it gets our backer numbers up, and it helps us kind of hack that Kickstarter algorithm. But take a look at it. I think you're gonna love the book. It's a lot of fun. The art is fucking bonkers, and a lot of amazing, crazy tears in there. Again, we'll draw you into the book. We'll put you on a cover. A lot of fun to be had. So check it out. I'm very proud of it.
Do you think they follow IPs? Like, could I back it, but then go in and back $1, and then go back in and back $1?
You can back it 5,000 times.
And pad those numbers?
We can talk about these schemes and scams off air.
I don't think Kickstarter cares where the backers come from, where the money comes from. So if you're inclined to do that, I will. You got a big high five coming from me.
100 email accounts.
Or you could just have yourself drawn in the book, Adam. I mean, you could do that too.
Yeah, that's good too.
Oh, I want to do that.
Yeah, Adam just committed. He's going to pay $200 for the highest tier. He's going to get in there. We're behind you, Adam.
I'm tempted to do either the 201 to be in the book or 101 to get the digital of the cover. I'm like, God.
We should take all the ad revenue and super chats and just have Adam drawn in the book with.
Actually, I'm a fan of myself and that commission.
Oh, really?
Looking pretty tasty, because I've always got my old commissions of Wade Adams, so I got to get me another Wade Adams.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that. Fabio and Edson are doing commissions, so you can there's a tier for a black and white commission. Basically, you dictate what gets drawn. You say, I want this, I want this, I want this. Fabio will draw it, and then there is another tier where Edson will also color it. So yeah, if you like Fabio and Edson's art, now is your chance to whatever, if you want a drawing of you fucking a sheep or whatever.
Wait, can I pay to have Adam doing that?
Absolutely.
You don't need a drawing when you
Oh.
have a picture.
Yeah,
Oh,
Polaroid,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's perfect.
What I would really like to see is I would like to see the community unite and buy up all of the draw you into the book tiers, and then let's have Adam's head on every body, like in a scene. Main characters. So it's just a world
The
of Adams.
Council of Adams. The Council of Adams.
Yeah.
We can do that.
Yeah.
We can do
Amazing.
that. Look, man, we're gonna get you out of here. Like I said, we're behind you. We're all gonna be back in tomorrow. I've not backed Sean Gordon Murphy's project yet because I'm waiting on my credit card to cycle so I can back the jump on Kickstarter. And I recommend everybody else to do the same. But Rylend, we're gonna get you out of here. Thank you so much for coming on.
Thanks, guys.
2019 ComicCast Guest of the Year.
I'll see you tomorrow.
I don't know that you're gonna be the
Thanks, guys.
2020. I don't know. We've had some good guests.
God. Yeah, I didn't come heavy enough. God damn it. All right. I should have blown something up.
He thought the robot was going to put him over.
That robot's a pretty good attempt. It's a pretty good
good.
attempt.
It's a pretty good attempt. All right, guys. Thanks.
All right, Rylend. Later, buddy.
Thanks, Rylend.
Take it easy. Yep. Stay safe.
You too.
He's trying to figure out how to leave. I'll just kick him out. Look how that works.
Oh, you don't kick
That's
out
awesome.
Rylend.
I can kick you out too, bro.
Don't
You
be
love
mean.
doing
Don't
that.
be mean. He does. Don't be mean.
No. One day you're going to do it, and I'm just going to leave.
Oh,
It sounds like a
No,
problem.
you're not. Is you gonna leave? Where are you gonna go? Comic Core?
Oh man! I don't know if that was a dig on
Yeah,
Adam.
I go
or
to the Comic
or
Corps.
What? I don't know what was
that's
going
where
on
actually.
there.
I'm
You're going to go to the Comic Core, and he's going to be like, oh.
actually going to see Rylend again tomorrow on the Comic Core.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm going to listen. I'll listen in after backing his.
Yeah, dude. I'm so happy to see that jump, like the jump on jump,
Yeah.
because I definitely want to contribute and get my little, appearance before it gets taken out. It's only 5 slots. You know what I
Are
mean?
you doing that? Are you doing to have
I'm
yourself
either
drawn?
going to do the cover one because it's just a PDF file. You know what I mean? It's not an actual.
But still,
cover
you can
one.
print it out and it'll
Pretty
be amazing.
cool. Pretty cool. And then the other one is to be in the comic for 200. And I'm pretty tempted to be that because I've always wanted to be in a comic. You know what I mean? And
I
what
do
better
too.
Comic than a Rylend Grant comic. You know what I mean? That's
Like
pretty cool.
I keep saying it all the time. I'm like, one of these days, I'm gonna back a draw yourself into the comic, or have my kids drawn in something.
Yeah.
Something.
There's
I
only
had my
5
picture
slots
in
to
the
do
back
so
of a
it's like
comic.
you got to get it right away.
That's cool.
Oh, that's awesome. No way. Which comic?
Secret
that
Avengers
commission-
#1 during the Heroic Age.
Oh,
they
good,
had this "You Are an Avenger" sort of promotion where if you emailed them a picture of you, they'd throw it in the back.
That's amazing.
So it's me and like 1,000 other people, but I mean,
Hey, you're there. I mean, you stand out with that beautiful hair.
I really do. I had it all puffed out.
That's sick, dude. Can you send that to the chat? The picture of it? If you get-
I don't have it on this computer, but I think I have it upstairs.
That'd be
Yeah,
dope. I want
I'll
to see
do
it.
that.
I'm
I'll
psyched
let
for
everyone know.
Kickstarter. There's this Kickstarter, and they just sent out a notice that the Neon Wasteland book, the issue #2 is will be going live soon.
Yeah,
for that.
dude. I backed
That's the
Jim
one with
Ruggs.
the VR. And
That
thing.
yeah, dude. You got to send me the link for that because I want to get on that as
Oh
well.
yeah, the AR.
Yeah.
It's not
AR,
VR.
that's what I
Okay,
meant.
I just
Yeah,
wanted to
yeah,
make sure.
Is
Yeah.
that like issue 2? Because I still got to get the first one. I didn't get the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's issue 2, but I almost guarantee that they'll probably have a tier. that
yeah, no doubt.
includes both.
Dude, yeah, Kickstarter's been crushing it, man. I definitely picked up the Jim Rugg Octobriana that's coming out. I did like $100 tier for that to get all the fluorescent light posters. And then the Jeff Lemire and Matt Kent one.
Oh,
I did
man.
like $100 tier on that one for like I forgot what their thing was, but a bunch
There's
of
something
cards
to that
and
retailer thing,
commission, I
man.
think. Yeah, dude.
There's
You
something
got to
to
be.
that.
It's tough though, man. Like
There's not a
I
lot
think-
of new books that I want, and it's like I might as well spend like $100 on a week of books that I don't want, or like.
but a
I'm gonna
comic
get
shop
get
is
something cool.
gambling. Like I think Rylend was charging what $10 an issue. So a
They're
comic shop
gambling
is
when
gambling.
they get any book though that
They are,
don't
sure.
know is going to sell.
But can you sell a #1 issue for $10? I mean, it's better than some of the other stuff that we've seen out there. Whose headphones are so loud? I keep hearing the echo.
that's what the innovation needs to be. There needs to be something to where
Cops. Wow.
Shop.
Gaumer, stop watching the news and
Shop.
get out of your house.
Shops can get a better price, and they can compete. Kickstarters can compete with other distributors. There's
Right.
got to be something to give there, man.
Like
Kickstarter needs to help.
I've talked to
Kickstarter
Yule
should
about
help.
it. I've talked to Yule about it time and time again, and he's
Yeah.
like, I can't jump in on these crowdfundings. I think he did it with Sean Gordon Murphy, but it's like I can't.
That's
do
an
this.
easy sell.
Yeah.
There needs to be more communication, man. If people would go in and be like, man, I would really like to have that Kickstarter book. If I could hit up my shop and say, man, I want this Kickstarter book, and then there's some way for my shop to say, hey, Gomer wants this Kickstarter book. Does anybody else want it?
Well,
What does he need?
Sean-
5 people to say that they
I
want
think
the book?
10. Most are 10. But
Yeah.
Sean Gordon Murphy's campaign runs 60 days. So if you're a comic shop owner, you could put out a little sign with a picture of his Kickstarter and say, hey, if you want this is how much. Sign up, and maybe he could get a
Upgrade your
idea.
newsletter.
Yeah, I would say
shop.
you have
Sure.
to have a pull list with our store. You have to be on the pull list, and then we can do that for you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, something like that.
There's something there. And it's not just, I'm not saying that it's something that needs to be fixed. I'm saying there's an opportunity to make money
Yeah.
fixing this.
Mhm.
And yeah, someone should jump on that, man.
we don't have
I'll look.
we don't have a book of the week. So you guys want to talk some random reviews?
Yeah.
I'm going to plug Outright Geekery for random reviews. Let's do it. OutrightGeekery.com, your one-stop shop for news, reviews, previews, podcasts, everything geek at your fingertips. Also the home of the Outright Geekery Podcast Network. Check them out. The Geek Savs, Get Valiant, the Comic Book Bullies, Instruments of Destruction, and, of course, ComicCast. OutrightGeekery.com.
Thanks, Bob.
Go check out OutrightGeekery.com, but I would also suggest you go check out collarandelbowbrand.com. Use the promo code ComicCast at checkout to save 10% to pick up these beautiful shirts. You can be a king of tigers, Joe Exotic, whatever you want to do. Dark Side of the Ring, whatever you want to do. Go check them out. collarandelbowbrand.com, promo code ComicCast to save 10%. We've not talked or planned any of this. We're just going to go. But I think we should start with Venom because I know we all read it.
Yeah.
And Venom number 25, Cates and Bagley. We knew this is the big 25th issue, right? This is what Marvel does. Adam?
It's a nice blank cover.
That's a cool cover, yeah.
I love it.
Me too.
I do think that's a cool cover. Let's
You
kick
need to
it
send
off.
that to somebody, dude. You need to get something on that one.
He'll send it to
Adam.
me, and I'll have it. It'll be
Throw a
amazing.
hand turkey.
Let's no. That's what I want to talk about. Adam's not happy with this, so let's get into it. Adam, how much of Donny Cates' Venom run have you read? Absolute Carnage, or just even a couple of issues of that?
I mean, I guess whatever was on the poll. So I'm assuming the Venom number 1 was probably on our poll. Then we talked about it, and maybe Absolute the Carnage one. But
so maybe 2 issues of his entire run.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So what?
I've
Let's. And I'm not trying to trap you here, but what is your problem with the book?
it's it's and I've actually been thinking about this of how to word it. I kind of feel like a guy who showed up at a party who wasn't invited, but didn't realize that it was like a faux pas to like you're at a place you shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
That's what it seemed like. It's just rehashing of what's happened previously, and then there's this battle or this mind. I'm not sure what I wanted. I know I didn't. All the
I know
rehash.
I didn't want this.
Fine.
This feels like such a trap for Adam, and I don't want it to be.
I want to know what he says because
No, right. I want to know what he says, and then I feel like I'm baiting him for a trap for what I want to say. But keep going. Is there anything else you want?
I think the bait has already been taken.
right.
But this is my thing, Adam.
That's fine,
why-
and I don't know what
you haven't
I don't
been
know
reading it,
how
so like,
to
did you
exactly
think it's not a
word it.
good catch up or what? You know, 'cause you
It's-
know it's a catch up,
I-
but do you not find it like
I didn't care
beneficial? Or
about that? And then this battle of the minds where I really wasn't buying the whole thing with Dylan and the T-Rex symbiote, or
Yeah.
and the Carnage part was cool. That one panel with Carnage and Dylan was pretty cool. But I don't know. It just I felt like we got a rehash, and then it didn't go anywhere. And then you got that big splash page at the end with all these characters you didn't know really who they were.
First appearance cameos. Now it's worth money.
Except
right. Bingo.
Right.
So here's my thing. That's my next question: is why did you buy this book? Because you like the plan for ComicCast this week was there is no plan. Everybody go buy whatever you want to buy, and we'll figure it out. Why did you buy Venom 25? When there, I mean, there was
because I figured we would be talking about it, and it would be good ComicCast talk points, and also it had a code that I could shoot to you to give away.
That's very much appreciated.
The point of this,
but that's pretty much it. I really didn't know. I just kind of figured with 25, we would be. Jason had said there. Oh, okay. So new characters showing up. I'm going to get like some new story, and we're going to be going to somewhere new, and it's going to get me excited about what Venom is.
They're using all that bullcrap to get you to buy the issue, so that they can, because you're a new reader. So now they're going to catch up the new reader. You're talking about 25th issue, spec market, all this crap. This is where we've been. Eddie and Dylan, Absolute Carnage, Venom Island. Here's a short wrap up, and this is where we're going with Null. And it's exactly
short.
Yeah, it's exactly what I expect from Marvel. It's exactly the people that should be pissed at me, and this is why it's kind of backwards, because I read this and I was kind of like, this is all right. Like the recap I don't need, but people that are reading Venom should be pissed because you were expecting something, and instead you got 11 pages of recap.
But the people who are not reading Venom should be like, wow, this is all condensed.
Yes, right. And now I want to read it. And now I want to read it. That's the goal. That's what Marvel wanted to do.
It did not have that effect on me.
That's
weird to me.
I was expecting that. I was expecting that effect. Like, I'm going to get this, and I'm going to get sucked into Venom.
You got caught up and you still didn't.
From Donny Cates. Yeah. The catch-up was long. I'll say it was long. Pages. Maybe expected, and I can say, okay, at least I can just look back and see what happened in everything I missed. But then the next thing, he's in this mind prison, and this stuff is going on, and then he ends up on a beach, and that's it.
Well, no, that wasn't it. The 2 huge page spread by Stegman, which was just thrown in there with Mark Bagley being the main artist.
What's the point of it, though?
To push the story. It was the same purpose that the first 11 pages had, to catch people up and to get them excited to read Venom. This was a commercial for the Venom comic. This was
all
not
it was.
Really a Venom comic.
Which is why the real Venom readers should be pissed. They should be pissed. Adam should be like, either this sounds cool or this sucks, but it's like the Venom readers are who should be pissed.
Yeah, I feel like on the one hand, I appreciate the catch-up because I've been out of it for so long, but I've been reading every issue, so it's vaguely in my mind, so it was a nice, fast catch-up, but it wasn't fast. It was a stretched-out catch-up, 11 pages.
11 pages.
Way too long. You could have done like 1, 2 pages.
William Pace said, who's Dylan?
You can ignore him. He knows exactly who Dylan is.
Yeah.
That's Dylan. It's Eddie's kid.
Yes, who is this
But
guy?
how much, like on the recap, I'm like, I mean, it's good, I get it, but Eddie and Dylan is what has made this book so good for so long. Yes. Like, I dig that relationship. It's like that first arc, so good.
And also,
this guy in the recap.
That's whatever. I don't even remember his name. He's part of it. Yeah.
He's the first Venom host, Sleeper.
Exactly.
I like the relationship with Normie and Dylan. It's almost like a batter Super Sons. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a cool relationship. I was really kind of hoping for a separate book, but I feel like my guess for where this book is going to go, I think we all know that Dylan's going to be the savior. He's going to defeat Null. He's either going to become super powerful and die defeating Null, or going to live on and get depowered, or he's going to be too powerful, get taken over by Null, and Eddie's going to have to kill his son.
That's what's going to happen.
You think so?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's what's going to happen.
Or
Normie.
You don't think it's that cool? I think that sounds amazing.
Or Normie will be the one who has to kill him.
That too. That's another option.
If you look at this, we griped about Venom Island. At the end of this issue, it made Venom Island as a title work for me because it's symbolic for being alone. And
How
Eddie
many of
was
these
on an
people-
island, and now he's accepted that his kid has these powers. He's not alone in his struggle with the symbiote. Look at that. That is
That's cool art.
awesome.
No, how many of
dude.
these people do we know?
These are
Oh,
new characters. The one on the bottom right is
Yeah.
new, and I think the one somewhere on there is
But
new.
again,
But it's
that's
all
a-
about Null. It's all about Null, though.
That's a commercial for what's coming.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Teaser.
But this, I
Exactly.
don't want. I wanted this in this.
but
Not
what
for
that,
what's
the
coming.
You're
prison,
not getting all that in 20. That's the whole
Yeah.
next arc, or
And
maybe
you
two
said-
arcs.
And you said
Right.
you didn't like the whole prison mindscape story, that duality, which I adored. I thought that is a genius way to approach this, where not only are the symbiotes fighting each other in the real world, they're fighting each other in the mind of Eddie freaking Brock.
Mhm.
It was brilliant because at one point Carnage pushes this giant axe into the T-Rex. The next panel is they're fighting inside and Dylan's hurt. I thought the cage, the whole red cage with the black background,
That's,
was
that's
awesome.
an amazing comment from Adam Hempseed.
Yeah.
You're going to buy this issue because the way we're talking about it.
Good.
And I think
Good.
that tells
Big
you
Carnage
that
fan.
Venom
Yeah.
25 can serve its purpose.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
it's just Adam's the only
guess-
one
I
that
guess
read
I'm
it that
the-
way.
I guess I'm the exception.
No,
If
and I don't know because I've
Right.
not talked to him. I saw a lot of people hating on Venom 25.
My
If I
biggest-
read this as a noob,
Mhm.
it's a great issue,
Yes.
dude. If
I
read
think
it,
so, too.
If I read it
Yeah.
as an ongoing Venom reader, it's only got like 5 pages of story that
Yeah.
matter. But
Right.
But it was weird because I
It
tried to
was
sit
cool.
down and read it that way. After Adam didn't like it, I was like, "All right, let me try to sit down." I read it this morning. Let me try to sit down and read this as a new reader. And I'm like, "All right." So you're catching me up with
Yeah.
the like I said it earlier, the Eddie and Dylan stuff, and then going through the whole thing with Absolute Carnage. And
and he's an Avenger now. What?
Yeah,
How can
kind
you
of.
not love that?
My biggest gripe though is like, how long? When did Venom start? When did issue 1 come out? Like that's when
2018.
2018. So we've been doing this for 2 years now, dude. Can
Yeah.
we just like defeat Null and move on to a different Venom?
No,
story
I've been
now?
griping
You know?
about that forever.
But Noel's been out of the picture.
Yeah, I've been
Kind
griping
of.
about, but the
Kind
been
of.
in the picture
Absolute
for plenty of
Carnage,
other books.
Venom
He
Island.
was
He's
in
been
Carnage.
gone.
He's the puppet master of Carnage. You know what I
Right,
mean? Like,
but he wasn't the main guy in Carnage. So you're talking
Yeah.
about a
but
month
he's
worth
like-
of
he's in
storytelling.
like every book, it feels like. And
But we were
Eddie
griping
flashbacks,
at-
Jones
we
flashbacks,
weren't griping
and-
about that
we just
until
get rid
Venom
of him.
Island started.
You guys weren't really griping about it until Thor started.
Well, true, but when Venom Island started, it was just like, oh, what is this? But then it made sense. By the end of this issue, the whole Venom Island thing made sense to me.
I still didn't like Venom Island arc.
I'm
very
down
much,
with
but-
Venom, man. Again,
I'm digging it, dude.
this like reinvigorated my.
That's
I
good.
want Null. I definitely
I-
want Null.
I actually
I was-
agree
I
with
was- I was
Jason that
hoping-
Venom Island was kind of dull. Kind
I
of
was
dull.
hoping
Oh, it was, but this issue made sense. It
I was
made
hoping
more
the whole
sense
Null
to me.
business would wrap up, but now we're seeing more characters going to come in. They're going to stretch it out even longer, more deconstruction. It's going to stretch them for who knows how long. It's like, oh man, come on! Like I just want to move on. Do a new, fresh Venom story. Make up a new bad guy.
Let
Like,
me ask you this: We're
You know
teaming
he's
up
not
with
doing that.
No,
Null's
it's
the
been
end all
a Null
be all.
saga for the past
But we're-
it's going to be for 5 years. It's going to be a 5-year story arc. You know.
You
And
think
he's gonna
so?
do it. Yeah.
No, I think he's going to blend it into Thor over the next year, and then that may be
He
it.
apparently said that cloud thing that defeated, Galactus originally is not Null. But I mean, hey, writers have to keep secrets, and they can
Yeah.
do that all the time. But do we really want to see a Thor Null crossover? Like,
No, I don't.
Yeah, neither.
The Avengers, though, I like the fact that the Avengers are getting here. Now, let me ask you this. Is this all leading to, or was it all leading to some big crossover where there'd be a Venom event and the Avengers and Null would clash? And is that being pushed back because Empire?
That's dumb. If you do that after Absolute Carnage, that's stupid. That's stupid. This needs to be a Venom story.
I'm okay with it being
Maybe
a Venom
Thor. Maybe
story.
Thor. If you're going to bring Thor in,
Null
that's
War.
fine. Donny Cates. Yeah.
Null War
Avengers-
doesn't have a good ring to it. The Null War.
What Avengers is doing is they're trying to build up to a Mephisto battle. You know what I mean? They're finally getting all the groups together of all the supreme soldiers of
Of Washington.
Agent Coulson's crew. You got the vampires.
Yeah.
And you got there's 4 different 5 groups, and they're finally going to team up. And you eventually going to find out the Avengers know that Mephisto's in charge, and then they're gonna. That's where Aaron's going with that. So it has nothing to do with Null. You know what I mean? In time, maybe, but I mean,
Well, the stuff that was going on in Avengers didn't have anything to do with that Elf Lord coming back for that last event, and they still had 3 Avengers tie-ins for that. So I don't know.
I mean that was like a line-wide decision for
Well,
an
I
event.
think Well, when Spider-Man has events, they're Spider-Man line wide.
Yeah,
I don't know why they couldn't.
They're about to do that coming up.
Yeah.
I don't know why they couldn't do that.
I think we still haven't revealed
Noel.
that bad guy yet. The centipede mask dude. We
Yeah.
still don't know who he is. They've been dragging everything up for so long. And then now
it's
Empire's
always
here,
never
like-
anybody.
And then the delays only make it worse.
I'm really tired of the main two, man, Marvel and DC. Like I started curving towards Image and all these independent publishers, smaller ones, like long ago, probably I would say a year or two ago, more inclined to read those than Marvel and DC. But now, even more so, I'm learning about like I can show you a haul of the stuff I've been buying. And it's mostly older stuff, man, and it's like I'm just really want to dig into the golden age and more stuff where
I really used to
ideas came from.
I really used to follow characters more than I used to. Now I follow creators, and when they go to Image more and more often, I'm not reading the stuff at Marvel and DC because I'd rather just follow that creator somewhere else.
I'd rather,
except for X-Men.
I'd rather buy a Donny Cates Kickstarter book.
Sure.
That's just my opinion.
Let's move on. Let's talk about another book. Did anybody else besides me read Star Wars Dr. Aphra #1?
I did not read it. No.
Nobody read it? Do you want me to talk about it or just skip
Who
it?
wrote it?
Alyssa Wong.
Yeah, no, I don't know anything about this.
It was a huge disappointment. It was a big, as much as I love the character and I love the original run, but it kind of just slowly dropped off and I quit reading it. But with this, like, it's Marvel reboots it, so they grab my money because that's what Marvel does.
Yeah.
And there's some fun stuff. It's like 2 double crosses within the first, 4 pages. Within the overall premise, it's research for a doctorate dissertation.
She in
That's
college?
the overall premise.
She's just in college?
No, somebody else. It's not even hers. She's going to help this girl do her
it's cheating in
dissertation.
college.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's so many character introductions. Like, they're trying to explain all this stuff, and I'm like, when's the story going to get fun? I got bored with it, and I don't care how much I like
What
the
Star
character.
Wars books are good right now, man?
The main title,
right?
The main title's good. The Darth Vader stuff's good.
Yeah.
The main title.
Yeah.
But you say that, dude, how many? There's like 5 freaking
They're
Star Wars.
they're all mediocre. None of them are great. They're all. You said it time and time again. Good, not great. Good, not great.
Good, not great.
That's Star Wars. So if you're going to read a Star Wars book, I would recommend picking the main title, which is what I'm doing. Reading the main title and forget everything else.
How about those ones we had last year with the journey to the Republic? Remember?
Those were great. Those little
Hauser.
one shots.
Yeah,
Those one shots were great.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty
I don't
fun.
know.
But that's Star Wars in a one shot. That's so good. Like, give me characters I know and give me a single story. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm just running down my list and asking what you guys have read.
Do it, man, do it.
Dead Day #1. Anybody read it? Nobody? Just me?
Zombie on
not.
Aftershock. Yeah, tell us about that.
Aftershock Comics, Ron Parrott. It was all right. I don't know if there's enough for me to keep reading it. Dead Day happens. This kind of bothered me too. They're like, it happens ever so often, but we don't know when or why. But yet everybody's preparing for it ahead of time. So it's like, well, it says happen once a year, every 3 years. Nobody's telling me when it happens, but yet everybody's preparing for it. And
What
it's
happens?
from sundown to sunup, some of the dead come back. And it's like this weird take on zombies. Like, some of the zombies are coming back as your stereotypical zombies, and they're like ready to eat your brains and all this stuff. But some of it is like a family reunion, and there's like almost a cult mentality to some of the people are celebrating it, and it's like a cult. It's like, all right, Grandpa's coming back. I'm going to meet up and talk to him. And some of the people are like, these people are nuts. Like, these are zombies, and we're going to
Shoot him in the head.
board the doors, shoot him in the head. Yeah, but it's like you meet this main family, and there's some decent character development here. Husband, wife, kids, all this stuff. But the wife keeps going on about Dead Day and talking about, all right, you guys are going to stay here, and I'm going to go out. And the husband's like, you sure? Yeah, I'm going to go out. I'm going to go out. And you're like, what is it? Like, who is she going to see? Well, it turns out to be her ex-fiance. And
Who died, obviously.
the cliffhanger is, her
Bang
dead
zombie.
her dead ex-fiance, she jumps on the back of his motorcycle and they say, we're going to go kill some people. I'm out.
Weird.
It's not
That's weird, dude.
Weird.
that. I had high hopes for it. I like Aftershock Comics. And
I like
was hoping
Ryan
for
Parrott.
some-
He does
yeah.
a lot of the Power Ranger stuff.
He did that. What was it called? The Volition?
Oh,
Which
yeah.
was kind of like a
with the robots.
Yeah,
kinda?
like a Transformer stuff thing. That was
Yeah.
cool. But, yeah. I don't know. Gomer, what'd you read this week? What do you
I was reading some Akira, some old school Akira, as they say, Akira. G.I. Joe #6 was good. IDW Publishing, Paul Allor and Chris Evanhoose. Sort of a powerful issue where they turn a Cobra agent, but she has like a tracker in her that she didn't realize she had, and she jumps off a cliff so that they don't get caught. It was weird, but it's good. Still fun.
Has the main character and his boyfriend squared off yet, or no?
No, not yet.
Are they going to? Is that what they're building to?
I don't think so, man. It's a very slow burn. It's a very slow burn. IDW has a problem with that with some of their stuff. They
missing the boat.
Yeah. Suicide Squad #5. I know everybody.
I can talk about that.
Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo, so good, man. Tom Taylor's on a different level. I'm not saying it's better or worse, but it's different, dude. He just approaches comics in a different way than I think a lot of people in the business are doing right now, and it's fun. But there's also serious moments going on in here.
He promised us, and we got him.
But it's always fun. Even Deceased, okay? Yes, there's a lot of terrible things going on. It's the most brutal situation. But, man, it's just some fun moments going on. He's a huge talent. I love this book. I can't believe I love a Suicide Squad book.
I dug it, man. I enjoyed this issue. I was a little lost at first, and then when they had Boomerang like on his knees, I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Marauders #10, Jerry Duggan. Stefano Caselli back for an issue. They use mutant powers in this to age whiskey. Krakoa's got its own whiskey now. What a great idea, right? Like 50-year-old aged whiskey.
I'm in.
In less than a day. Kitty can't be resurrected for some reason, and they can't figure out why. I mentioned in the pre-show, at the end of all the Dawn of X books, they have like a schedule for all the books coming out. Marauders #10 was already sitting at Diamond when everything got shut down. So all the dates are for April for books that we don't know when are coming out.
That's fun.
And it was kind of surreal. You know what I mean? Like, oh, yeah.
Empire is coming.
Yeah, Empire at some point. Yeah, maybe. I read Rogue Planet #1 on Oni Press. Cullen Bunn and Andy McDonald. Sci-fi space horror from one of the best horror comic writers in the business. It was wonderful. It was really, really cool. Nothing really spectacular, but it's exactly what you expect from Cullen Bunn. Sci-fi space horror. It was, really good. I read some other things too, but nothing worth mentioning.
Well, what else? What else did you read?
Like I said, I'm not letting you out.
I dove into Planetary a little bit. It was okay. Alienated #3.
Yeah, how was that?
It was good. It's the same thing. It's these kids got an alien. They're talking to each other psychically, and
As good as issue 1. I never read issue 2.
I mean, the best parts of issue #1 were all of the reveals.
Okay.
They're not really revealing anything anymore. They're just kind of going with what we know about the characters.
I just kind of liked how they talk to each other through issue 1.
It was very innovative, ingenious. Different colored letters.
Yeah.
It was really
I figured that continued on.
Yeah, it does.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good. I don't know. What else did I read?
What about you, Jason? What'd you read?
Mentioning, man.
I read Flash 754. I guess Williamson's going to end his run sometime soon.
When did you get 753? Did you get it like a couple of weeks ago?
Yeah, like last week.
Because I went to the shop. I went to the shop last week and didn't get it, and then I went to the shop this week and I got 753 and 754 both.
Yeah, I had it last week.
DC had some problems distributing to Diamond, and they were blaming Diamond, and then there was an argument about who was to blame. So I think that may have been what happened there.
Anyway, go ahead, Jason.
Yeah. Did you read it? I don't really want to.
Yeah, I read both of them. No, I read them both.
Okay. Yeah, it's just Paradox. In Flash and Reverse Flash are teaming up against him, and Paradox got a good idea, and he decided to instead of killing all the other versions of Flash, that gives him Speed Force powers, or Paradox powers. He decided to kill versions of himself instead, and now he's super extra powered because that's more of a paradox of killing yourself.
You must have watched Jet Li's 1.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a great movie.
Yeah.
That's a great movie.
You want full Jet Li, yeah.
I love though that, like, we talked about this some behind the scenes off air, talking about. I think Drew even brought it up, talking about it being a cheap pop to use Reverse Flash. And I get that it's like the Joker and like, but
I think it comes full circle. That's his main bad guy.
I still love Reverse Flash, and I love a Reverse Flash story, and that's a lot of what this is. I love both issues. I think I want to go back. And like Dwayne has some of them, but not all of them. And we're going on vacation in a few weeks, and I think I may go to some comic shops while we're out of town and see if I can piece together his run that I'm missing.
I really like Gomer's idea when he said, they're always going back to Barry Allen's mom's house outside. And like, how crazy would it be to go out there, like to outside the house, and you see like 4 or 5 different timeline versions of you. You know what I mean?
Cool.
It's like, oh,
That'd
we're all
be cool.
here.
Yeah.
You know,
Doctor Who would call that a fixed point in time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's
what
the
it is.
true well, not a paradox, but it's
that
like,
is what it is. It's time paradox.
Without reverse flash, there is no flash, and without flash, there is no reverse flash.
That's
it's
the
like,
paradox.
And they're always meeting together in this certain time and time and place.
If I could say, Big Willie in the chat mentioned Devil's Highway from AWA. That doesn't come out till July 1st, bro. You are one of the chosen few who gets advanced preview stuff.
He might be thinking. Are you thinking of year 0 or?
No, he's got an advanced review copy, and he doesn't know where he's at and what's going on. Probably been drinking since 6 o'clock.
I don't think anything from AWA came out this week, but yes, year 0 was cool.
I do want to read all those AWA.
Well, I'm looking forward. I kind of want to check out the issue 2s of the.
Me too.
Was it the hotel, and what was the other one with the couple escaping Mexico or whatever, and they run into the
Red
boy
Border.
sharpshooter.
Red Border,
Yeah.
And then there was this one also.
I don't know if we have those. I'll get anything up. Oh, you read Sentient?
No, we have those. We have the Red Border issues.
I finally read
great.
it. Dude, it's a fast read.
It's good. It's good.
It just flies because it's so damn good.
I feel like there's nothing with dialogue. It flew.
So
I love
good.
the larger size too. You know, it's more and the art's really good. I enjoyed it. I wouldn't say it's Lemire's best work, but I had fun, man. I enjoyed it. And not fun, but I mean, it was good.
It was
man.
entertaining.
You could compare the style of that book to Descender, and that's way better than Descender.
Okay, really?
Wait,
I think so.
That bums
I
me
got
out.
the
I really
first
wanna
volume of
read it.
Descender. I want to go back and reread it because I've not liked
I
it.
couldn't get into it, man.
I
I
didn't
wanna
like
read
it.
those. The
I
cool
love
thing about
Lemire,
this is,
obviously.
like, this is just a setup just for the AI. They still have to go into the other characters of what's happening with them. You know what I mean? They said this is just the beginning. So that's something to look forward to, and hopefully more people buy it so he does make a sequel. Should I show you what else? I told you I was going to start my Green Arrow, Jeff Lemire, Tarantino run.
What'd you think?
Oh my god!
I started like I read the first issue, and it's great already. So I'm looking forward to diving into this because the art is incredible. Tarantino art's ridiculous.
I told
dude.
you, man. Those layouts are so good. It just makes you think of Gideon Falls.
I also bought Batman Year One, the
Nice.
Absolute Edition. It's two different
Nice.
versions. You know,
Jason, are you opening a library?
He
No.
rich, bro. He rich, bro. He rich.
books.
You can't hide money.
I've been buying so much like crazy stuff, dude. I've been watching too much Cartoonist Kayfabe YouTube channel, and they're real comic heads. You know what I mean? So they recommended the Crumb Criterion DVD. I watched
Nice.
that.
Wow.
All special features too were great.
Dude, R. Crumb, legend.
Legend, dude.
Dude.
I also bought Art Out of Time, Unknown Comic Visionaries from 1900 through 1969.
Wow.
That is
So,
a fat book.
It is fat, dude, but the art is incredible. They have some really way ahead of the time, like it says, comics in there. Also, the Blighted Eye. It's a Glenn Bray collection, and this has some of the best art I've ever seen in my life.
Wow.
So I recommend that, and I got one more to show you.
Spy with my blighted eye.
This big ass Chris Ware artist edition.
Were you sitting on it with your?
Holy crap.
It's as big as Jason is. Look at that.
It's seriously
That's his
gigantic.
entire upper body.
Yeah, it's gigantic, dude. Chris Ware is a legend in the industry. He did like a lot of New Yorker covers. He's
The border
also.
of it matches your wall back there. Are you using that as a wall?
I had nowhere to put it, dude. It's so big.
Lumbar support.
Yeah, I'm not leaning on it, but Chris Ware is ridiculously amazing. His New Yorker stuff, and also he does models and stuff to the full extent. You know, there's a story I told last night where his grandma wanted to see his art studio, and so he made her like a diorama to scale. And send her that, and so you got to see all the little details and things at the studio. So pretty cool stuff. So this is what I'm reading and taking in as a comic collector. This is what I'm diving into. This is stuff that's important to me now. You know, I'm looking up to people we look up to, like Lemire. Like, what's his favorite artist or writer? You know, then like I said before, you go down the chain, and you end up in the golden age. And so I'm getting a really deeper appreciation for comics, how they're made, as well. As just not just the comic itself. So I'm kind of getting deep into it, dude.
Does it make you want to cut some of the stuff out of your pull list and just read old stuff?
Yeah. I really don't want to buy new books anymore. Honestly, they don't really. There's nothing that excites me there.
Oh Lord, he's going to be like Adam. We're going to have to make him read books.
There,
It's just going to be me and Gomer talking about comic books.
and there's stuff I get excited about.
Yeah.
You know, Gideon Falls, X-Men right now, but that's because of the
Yeah.
history that I have with comics.
Yeah.
I've been
And
an X-Men
Hickman's a
fan.
genius, man. There's still great new books out there, and those ones I am excited about. But most of them, like, I couldn't care less.
You're like, the cream rises to the top.
Amen.
That bad joke I had. What's that new Hickman book? SpaceX.
Yeah.
Anything else anybody wants to talk about? Any new comics?
No. What about next week?
Yeah.
No,
my God.
next week. Let me make this announcement. Next week we got Zach Kaplan coming on.
Nice.
He's the writer behind Port of Earth, Eclipse, and now he's working on Join the Future over at Aftershock Comics.
Nice.
We've talked about him before. He's the king of creating worlds. Like he is an excellent world builder. So shout out to him because he's been sending us free review copies of his books and like constant communication. And like when he sent me the email this week, I was like, dude, come on. Like, because he was supposed to come on a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And I said, do you want to come on? Open invitation. He's like, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. I'll come on next week. And I know we're trying to dial back some interviews and kind of get back into comic reviews. But yeah, next week.
Comics
Zach
aren't
Kaplan.
agreeing with that.
Right.
plan.
Yeah. I love Port of Earth, and I kind of like it better than Oblivion Song. I don't know. I'll have to get a reread. I'm gonna do a reread on Port of Earth. So I really
Dude, his
enjoyed
new
it.
book. What was the name of his new book that you just said?
I need a preview. of
Join
that.
the
I wanna read
Future.
that.
Join,
Join the
we've
Future.
got both issues.
Okay, cool. There's a lot of hype behind
I've read
book.
that first issue. It's wonderful.
Yeah, we got both. I think the second issue comes out the Wednesday after next Wednesday, I believe.
The first issue is not out in stores.
Yeah, it's already out. The
Oh, okay.
second issue comes out the Wednesday after he's coming
Oh,
on.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he wanted to come on to promote it, and because of everything going on, it wasn't coming out. And I asked him, and he's like, yeah, let's reschedule. So, and then also, I want to plug ComicCast number 200 in 2 weeks, and I'm so happy to say this. It makes me so happy. All of the hosts of this show that have any main host that's ever been on this show is coming back. That includes Lawson. That includes AKA David. That includes Drew Manchu. We will all be here hanging out, talking comics. I'm so glad. Like anybody that's ever listened to the show knows that there was some drama with David. There's been drama with Lawson. They're all coming back. The band is back together. Everybody's coming back. We're going to hang out, talk comics. It may be a 3-hour episode.
Anti-Yoko Ono.
You could probably shut down war in the Middle East.
I don't know about that, dude.
When I got the DM from David, I was like, all right, it's on. It's on. He's back.
You never
He
said
unblocked
good old boys from Tennessee. I
He-
can get them to
He
talk.
unblocked
Buffalo.
everything. He had ComicCast blocked, Talking Balls blocked, the Wrestling Council blocked, me blocked. He had all these blocked. They're all the walls have been torn down.
Nice.
You're bringing back the Middle East together.
Ooh, nice. Well,
Next
I'm glad
week-
I can do what I can, man.
We're gonna have a book of the week next week too. We don't know what yet. We'll probably put out a poll. Follow us on Twitter at ComicCastPod to cast your vote for the book of the week. But
Jason, show off that elbow hole.
Yeah, show off that elbow. Jeez.
Dude, oh man.
Man.
I won't lie. When Jason sent that message, I was like, all right, he's exaggerating. Then he sent the picture, and I was like, he way undersold that. Undersold that.
Hurts like hell, dude. Yeah.
Like you
I've
didn't even give it credit.
I've been sleeping 2 or 3 hours a night just because it's shocking pain, and I've been trying to sleep
Wow.
with my arm up. You know what I mean?
Are you sure there's nothing broken? or
No, that's
anything,
good. I
dude?
can move everything, and
Oh,
it might
well,
click. when I
still, my old lady
overextend,
broke
but-
her shoulder, dude, right? Or her elbow. She came home from work after finishing out her shift and went, you think I should go to the hospital? And it was grinding. I could hear it going, and I was like, yes! Go! Get out! Yeah, I'll never forget that.
You way undersold it. Way undersold it.
Yeah,
Yep.
I
You
was
got
not lying,
Willie,
dude.
Willie P's throwing up right now.
Yeah, I was not lying. When I say there's a hole in my elbow, there's a literal hole in my elbow.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, all right, it's like a little indention. And then you sent it, I was like, goo. Somebody scooped out his elbow with an ice cream
it's a
scoop.
drill hole. Yeah.
Yeah, it's nasty. All right, let's wrap this thing up. I said we were going to go 2 hours. I'm surprised we dialed this thing down. Shout out to Rylend Grant. Check out the links in the description. Go back his Kickstarter. Going live tomorrow.
Monday, if
I'll be
if
back
you're
in it.
listening. On
Can't wait
whatever.
for it. That's going to wrap it up.
beat us to backing it.
ComicCast number 198. Zach Kaplan next week. The big blowout 200 in 2 weeks. Hill Lawson returns, a.k.a. David returns. I'm Boogie Bentley. For these clowns, we out. See you guys next week.